Hey, and welcome back to the channel. I did it that way because I only have two hands. It's not like I have a production studio here. So I put my scampi, you saw how easy it is, over squash. And I'm only doing that because right now I'm watching my gluten and my carbs strictly for the allergens. It really helps my allergies when I watch my sugars and different things like that. But I will be diving headfirst into that pot of pasta here in like another week or two, without even a doubt, because I love pasta. It's one of my favorite food groups. But I actually did mine right over some buttered squash. So I just like put butter in there and like really a bunch of butter and just, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's really easy to make. You can put it over pasta, you can put it over rice, you can put it over veggies. I use the vegetable broth. Normally I would use white wine, but I didn't have a white wine open. I only use like a half a cup, fourth of a half a cup. I'm not wasting wine on that. So you can just use vegetable broth or a wine. I did a whole lemon. You might not want to, but it's so easy. Shrimp scampi is like super easy. So I wanted to give you that little recipe because it's like such a fast weekday meal. And it's super yum if you like that kind of a thing. But I also wanted to talk to you about allowing yourself to just be okay the way you are. You're like, what do you mean? Remember, it's progression, not perfection, right? So as long as you're working towards something, which is your goal, that's your progression. So you don't want to pump your brakes and slow and feel like, oh my gosh, if I'm progressing, I'm not going in a forward direction. That's not really a true statement. You're going to have to slide backwards, but the difference is you'll have more tools this time, right? So, you know, I always use the motto that if I'm looking at what the lotto numbers were last night, if I'd have played them knowing what I know now, I'd have hit $1 million. Great, but that didn't happen, right? Accepting it for what it is. But when you have more tools, and if you're being consistent with your tools, daily practice, daily gratitude journal, daily positive and negative journal, daily data dump journal, and mood journal, if you're consistent in your practices, there will be days that are just not going to be fabulous, right? You're just going to be like, wow, I'm really dropping the ball left and right. That's okay. You have to be kind to yourself. But always know that you want to keep going in a forward progression. And yes, sliding back is part of it. Where it becomes problematic is if you go, oh my God, it's too hard. Because that will never fly with me, because life in general is hard. So you kind of have to choose your hard. Seriously, like your mentality of it. And allowing yourself to be okay with not being perfect, because perfection is always rooted in insecurity, right? Because perfection isn't something that is a gold standard. It's just not. There isn't a rule that goes, this is perfect. Live up to this. Very often, that's what you're running into, is mom's version of perfection or society's version of perfection. And it's just not a thing. So don't ever strive for perfection. Always strive for progression, which means when you do come back or you fall backwards, you have to show yourself gratitude. And I just wanted to hop on here to say this as I was like getting ready to like grub down in this, because when I tell you it's good, it's like ridiculously good. There's a lot of self-discipline happening right now. But I want you to be okay with not knowing what the outcome is. When you can get yourself, and we'll do a whole topic on that, of embracing the unknown. The unknown is beautiful. Failure is beautiful. What ifs are beautiful, even if they don't work out. And it's just getting you to that place. But in order to do that, you must first know that progression is where you want to go. Be okay with just where you are right now, but always look to grow. You should never in your entire life just be like, oh, I'm content. I don't need to grow anymore. No, it's not a thing. That's why people tell you to read a book a week or read as much as you can and always learn something new every year, if not every month. You know, learn a new word, learn something every day. But when you're doing that, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to knock it out the park. Doesn't mean you're supposed to perfect anything, because perfection's not a thing. So I wanted to hop on to tell you, hey, you know what? It's okay. It's okay if maybe today is not the best day for you. Maybe you were a little people-pleasy more than you would have been in normal circumstances. Just check yourself. You just check yourself and go, oh, okay, I see what I did there. right? Because you didn't get here overnight. You're not going to unget here overnight, which means it's taking you years to get here. It's not a fast process, and you have to be okay with that as long as you are continuously doing your own growth. Remember, it's no one else's responsibility to achieve your dreams, your goals, or heal you. That's all your responsibility. So that's a tall ask, right? That's like a lot of work. So never strive for perfection, because perfection is not a destination that can be reached, because it's not a fact. Perfection is not a fact, and it never will be a fact. But progression absolutely is.